So in my book, I talk about the platform for functional capitalism, where functional is more interested in the functional flow of the seventh level system, to put together the best that the lower systems can offer and put them on a trajectory to be able to save our planet. This takes about the last third of my book or so. The first pillar of this is defining governance of the seventh level system, moving the digital economy to big picture values, what money from the seventh level looks like, what the distributed intelligence model of the info-industrial evolution, it's not an industrial evolution, and what a redefined corporate sustainability policy looks like from the seventh level. How much more time do we have?
Till
8.
6:37, 40 minutes.
8:20? Is it 8:20 now?
Yeah, 8:20. 40 more minutes.
40 more minutes.
8:30.
8:30, that was 9. That was 9. So publishes 9. Yeah, it says 9.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Well, we'll go through this and then we'll open it up for questions up to this. I think there's like 4 more slides and probably another 15 minutes, so we're doing good on time. So the first pillar of that platform for functional capitalism is obviously to try to fix our government. So what does a government design from the seventh level system look like? The person that really gets it in this picture here is Elizabeth Warren.
Yeah.
I do believe that she's a seventh level leader, but she's dealing with life conditions that are primarily red. And so she defaults to looking green. But she's not green. You know how you can tell? She's on the committee, the Banking Oversight Committee. And bankers come in to testify on why, Mr. President of Wells Fargo, why did your people open 2 million accounts fraudulently? And he goes through the whole explaining that, whatever explanation they provide. At the end of 2 or 3 days of testimony, she turns to them and say, you knew it was borderline illegal and you did it anyway. You violated this rule, and possibly this rule, but you still did it anyway. Don't you think you belong in jail? Or really be as straightforward as she can possibly be with them because she's not owned by them. And she has a clear understanding of how the industry operates. Then banking regulators go up and testify. And they come up with every excuse on the book on why they can't regulate. They're either shorthanded or there isn't a law on the books that allows them to do something. And she says, so you're telling me that you're too incompetent to regulate, or we're not giving you enough resources for you to regulate. That's the beauty of a seventh level leader. Okay? You cut through transparency like you won't believe and see what the value systems below you are all about.
But isn't she dropping into her blue in order to do that?
Absolutely. Yellow, Don Beck always says, in order for you to have a robust yellow system, your blue has to be on strong foundation. And it is. Without a blue foundation, now this, a lot in the green community don't like this. You have got to have a solid blue system in place. In the United States, we have gotten used to the idea that blue is incompetent and is not needed. That's not the case in Europe. They respect their blue because it looks a lot like green. And when your blue looks a lot like green, it'll be a lot easier for you to go into yellow. Jack?
So occurs to me, I don't know to you, Zephyr Teachout, is she moving along the direction of Elizabeth Warren?
Sorry, who?
Zephyr Teachout, the Duke University law professor who ran against Mario Cuomo.
Oh, I don't even know who that is.
Self-funded.
Yeah.
Bernie Sanders supported him.
Yeah.
Supported him.
Yeah. You're beginning to see a lot of yellow leaders. John Elton and I had a big discussion about whether Michael Bloomberg will be. He's clearly a yellow leader, and yellow leadership in politics begins to show in major global cities who are facing existential problems, like New York. Trash on a daily basis in New York is this high, and you need a yellow strategy to deal with trash. That's actually funny. but it is those existential problems that press up against that sustainability issue of climate change and things like that, that forces people to think in long-term, yellow planetary kind of solutions. Yeah, so I don't know who that is, Jack, but yeah,
I'll send you a link.
yeah, please. Yeah. The other people on there, the young man you see to the top right there, Harper Reid, he is responsible for both elections of President Obama. So that I put him up there just to give you the idea that the future of government is algorithmic. Okay? It is not bureaucratic. Many of our jobs can be done by computers without the opportunity, without the possibility of allowing them to become corrupted by human and special interest lobbying. Yes?
We went to a TED Talk last year where there was a woman who designed a system for electronic voting and getting rid of the paper ballots. And, well, why are we still on paper ballots?
Well, here in the States?
Yeah.
Because of entrenched blue interests, they do not want to change it. There's more toxicity in the way that each party is run than there will ever be toxicity in each individual candidate. Look at what happened with the dirt that came out on.
EMC.
Well, yeah. What's her name? The representative who?
Schultz.
Yes, and how they manipulated, forced really used very red, scary tactics to get Bernie to do what he did. Look at things like Donna Brazile and the kind of things that she leaked for her candidate to have a leg up. I mean, it is the embedded interest in those dark, backroom deals that get done with each party that prevent progress from happening. We need a technologist. We need a millennial who worked at Silicon Valley to run for president in a couple of election cycles, and you'll see how things begin to change. Right? The person at the bottom there, that's Paul Volcker. He was on President Obama's Chicago group of economic advisors before he took office the first term. He's the one who tamed inflation in the 1970s, the biggest threat to the capitalist system. He's of the old school. He cannot stand the direction the country has taken with financial innovation and monetarist policy of the likes of Milton Friedman. He wanted us to go back to the central bank not having so much power. Okay? He was supposed to have been President Obama's economic advisor, but someone got to him in those first 2 weeks, part of that group of people that came to visit, said, no. Paul Volcker does not belong here. We have our own guy, the poster child of the financial crisis, Larry Summers. And Larry Summers became President Obama's economic advisor. So don't tell me there isn't a system that is far more, with far more power than the political system that really runs the affairs of this country and the global economy. The man on the right there, I put him there because he is someone who experienced the transformation of our orange system from something that was somewhat healthy under the Reagan years, and he has seen it go in the direction that it has, and he has seen all the corruption and the damage that system has done. His book came out around the same time that mine did, and it is eerie how we reach the same conclusions. I am not a political insider, but he is. And he comes to the same conclusion as I did on what caused the financial crisis. Okay? So we need to begin to think how we can build a seventh level system in government. I would venture to say that you would need a minimum of 20% in the representative branch, in the judiciary branch, who think just like Elizabeth Warren. You can't force that on people. You develop it over the years, and as the old generation dies, both Republicans and Democrats, there'll be room for the likes of Warren